Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Entertainment Roadmap. Today we are here with Nikko Austen Smith, who recently starred in The Blue Rose. Hi, Nikko. How are you today?
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm so ready for fall because I can't stand the heat in the summer. So I'm counting down the days.
Yes, me too. Fall is my favorite.
Yeah,
Same.
already have a countdown going for Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to begin, how did you get into acting? If you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so the people that are close to me know this story. I I grew up doing a lot of theater in North Carolina and high school theater, community theater, all of that jazz, and then went on to get my BFA in acting for university, and I loved that, and then fell out of love with theater and more so in love with film. Um, and so I was auditioning a lot for film and stuff my junior and senior year, and then my senior year is when I booked my first real like TV credit on Ava DuVernay's Clean Sugar. And so I had to like leave school. I was flying back and forth, like trying to do my assignments and record my monologues and try to graduate. And it was crazy because normally for BFA programs, your senior year, you have a senior showcase in New York City. And the callback for the Clean Sugar role was on the same day in person as the New York showcase. So it was either I worked all 4 years to go to showcase that I already paid for, or I risk it and go to New Orleans for this callback and I might not even book it. And uh, so I was like, whatever, let me go to New Orleans because I love the show so much. And I had like $32 in my bank account and I had to buy my own plane ticket because I just paid rent, I just paid tuition, and just like all these things and groceries. And so I was like calling all my friends and trying to figure out how to get to this place. And I ended up getting there, thankfully, and booked it that same day.
Wow,
Wow,
So
that's a crazy story.
that
it
is
was,
very crazy.
yeah, it was a whirlwind for sure because I had admired that show for so long. And so then to be part of it is was crazy for sure.
Yeah, and to like work with Ava DuVernay. I mean, that's also insane. Like for your first big
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, plus it was a lot of she's so big on like female directors, and I've never been around so many women creatives in the room that had a voice, and people were listening to them, especially like the DPs, and it was just it was fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome first experience, even though it was a
Yeah.
little hectic and
Yeah.
funny how those things work out when they're always on the same day.
It was like a High School
Yeah.
Musical moment. Like,
Yes. I was
the
like,
callback or the
ah,
basketball game. Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Moving forward in your acting career, how did you get involved in the Blue Rose?
Yeah, so my team over at CSD and Seven Summits, they sent me the self-tape request for the audition. And I read over the script and I was like, this is awesome. And I would love to be part of this. And I sent I recorded my self-tape with my mom because over like the phone, because it was what year was that? Gosh, I guess that was, yeah, 2021. So it was still very like, COVID protocols and everything. And my husband was at work and I was like, I have to get this in. So my mom read it with me and there was a lot of screaming and my neighbors were not too happy with me, but um, I ended up getting this role and it was just a dream come true because I've never played a character in a period piece, let alone a character who goes through such changes, like such dramatic changes. So I was so excited to dive
That's one way to put it. Dramatic
in.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sophie's a complex character if I've ever seen one. Um,
Yes.
do you have a favorite memory from filming The Blue Rose?
Um, it was really, I think, the spirit of everyone. Like we all really wanted to create something super artful and we wanted to make the best thing we could possibly make. So it was just like a nice, like, yeah, let's get it kind of spirit on set every day that I loved so much, even though like we would be there till 4 or 5 a.m. and then drive 2 hours back home and then drive 2 hours back, at least for me, because I'm in the valley. So it was a bit far towards the end of filming, but also so worth it because we just got so close and yeah, it's just like that camaraderie was super nice.
Yeah, it definitely comes through when watching the movie. You can tell how everyone got along very well, and it
Yeah.
just yeah, it works very well.
Mhm.
I remember those early rap times because I would like try and keep up with everyone, and George would go live, and it would be like 5 in the morning or like 8 a.m. my time. I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, what's he doing to these poor actors? But
Yeah.
it was worth it in the end. All the scenes that you could tell were night shoots. Those were a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So like you said, Sophie is very complex. Did you do anything to get into character for her?
I have a specific still in my phone, like a Sophie playlist. It has a lot of like Liver and Baker, just it's really cool, like 1950s, like haha kind of music because I wanted to get into that just everything's great, like kind of mentality that was there and present in the 50s. And so I was dancing a lot around my house to that. And I tried my hand at making pies, and I'm not great at making pies. And I made a couple pies, and I wanted my husband to try them. So he comes home, and I'm like, "Here you go." And he goes, "What the hell?" And he eats the pie, and it's not good um, at all. But I did try to make them. So I'm glad they were already made on set. I didn't have to
Yeah.
make anything. Can't bake at all.
Yeah, well, whatever you did, it really worked. And Sophie is so compelling. And we, like Sabrina and I watched the movie together and we got so excited every time you came on screen, just
Yay.
because we were excited to see what happened.
Yeah.
And so this film obviously has many interpretations. What was your interpretation of the ending, if you feel like sharing that?
Yeah, I have an interpretation of Sophie as in, she winds up back into the bathtub. She's pulled back into Norma's cell because she's trying so hard to get away from her manipulator and she can't. And so she's getting punished, I think, eternally for almost veering away and almost running off with Lily. So it's like this really tragic. Um, I'm still trying to figure out what's real and what is not. And I think it's so fun. I know, my head is still spinning, but I think what's so cool is George's twin when her eyes bleed at the end. I'm like, oh, are we circling back? Is this happening all again? I feel like it could just be a loop that keeps looping and keeps looping, and that would be really cool to explore.
Yeah, that's kind of what we thought. We spent like 5 hours trying to like dissect everything and figure it out.
Yes.
And we talked to George about it. And like, of course, he didn't want to tell us everything exactly. So we were just telling him our theories. And thought we sounded so crazy. Like we were just going like, oh, but maybe this means that, or this is this. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But I think that's also something that makes the movie great is that so many people can have so many different interpretations of what it is. And yours is really interesting because you got to live with a character for so long. And so it's a different perspective than we would have just as viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, but like the fan response to you specifically has been incredible. People like love you.
Oh,
Have you
yay.
seen any of that at all?
No, not really. What is it? No.
Are you on
Um,
Letterboxd?
I am on Letterboxd. I have not looked at
You
the
gotta
reviews
look
because
at
I'm
some of
just
the
like,
reviews. Everyone's name dropping you. They're like, this
oh,
is like the next actress. Like we gotta look out
oh,
for
I
her.
love that. Okay, I'll look. I'll look. Yeah. Um, I watched it. I think I went to the theater 3 times when it was playing to watch with like friends, family, and everyone's like, "That's such a cool art piece of
Hmm.
a film." And I'm like, "Yes, because we need more art like this, like things that aren't so spoon-fed and aren't just spelled out, where people can still have conversations when they leave the theater and talk and think, because I think that's really fun. So I'm really excited for George, and I'm excited for other filmmakers as well to come up and say, you know what, we're going to do something abstract because it's fun and we want to. So I think that's kind of hopefully where the film industry is going to veer off to
Yeah, I hope
one of
so.
those.
Yeah, it's very movies lately are very formulated. And so like I notice when I go to the movies with my friends, like we leave and we have nothing to talk about because it's just cut and dry. But
Yeah.
like Noah said, we talked about it for 5 hours, 2 more hours with George. Like we could go on and on about the Blue Rose. So yeah, I really did enjoy that
I mean,
aspect.
it's like a week later, we're still talking about it and
Yeah.
figuring out, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also like when movies aren't so like they don't like spoon feed you the information and tell you exactly what's happening. Like I find that so much more interesting that like for a film to be done this way. And I like that it was called an art piece. I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with all of the actual art that was in there. It's just so breathtaking. It's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess now moving to more recently, you were in an episode of Criminal Minds. So what was it like working on Criminal Minds Evolution? And were you a fan of the show before joining the
Yes.
cast?
Yes, yes, yes. I was so so excited to be on that show. Like, it's been on forever. Like, I would watch it growing
Years.
up, and yeah, and it's just wow, it's kind of like a full circle moment. And I was there at the read through and with all of the cast, and they introduced themselves to me, and they were just, I was like, what? Like, you guys want to talk to me? And it was really heartwarming because you could see still that everyone that was working on it was still excited to be there. Because sometimes I would assume that like, oh, people have been on work on this, especially crew, for so many years, maybe they would feel a little jaded or like, oh yeah, we've seen this before. There's 8 million episodes, blah blah blah. But everybody was so like meticulous still and wanting to make the best thing possible. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it's been on for so long, because people really care about making great stories and shooting it really well. So that was fun. It was the first time I got to like use a rifle. It was what was it? An AI 18308 rifle, which is like what snipers use.
Wow.
And the props person was showing me how to use it, and I was doing the bolt action and everything. It's like, this is cool because I love like soldier roles and to be like a strong person, because normally people see me and they're like, she's a little girl. She's not strong. But and this I got to be, and that was really, really fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm like a huge Criminal Minds fan. Seeing you on the IMDb page was so exciting. I was very excited for that. But yeah, I agree that like the cast definitely wants to be there and I mean I can tell as a viewer, so hearing that is that's really awesome.
Yeah. We were both so sad. Spoilers about the
Spoiler
end.
alert.
Spoilers alert.
Spoiler!
We were both very, very sad when your character got killed in the
I
episode.
didn't see it coming.
Me either.
Yeah.
Literally,
I was
I
like,
watched the episode so early. I sat up. I'm like, did anyone else just see that?
it happened so quick.
Hmm.
And I was like, come on. I feel like, man, Dana and Jade could have done more stuff.
They could have. I have to ask, how is it like working with Liana?
She's so cool. Okay, I when I would get to set, I would see her and she would go, sister. Like, hi, I love your work. I love you on screen.
She's awesome.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Noah
so
and
cool.
I adore her. So that was really cool seeing you guys as scene partners. We were so excited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like to just imagine like the backstory that's there between the two of them and like the rest of the Gold Star members.
Yeah.
I just they could I would be so here for it if they went back into that and did it like a deep dive into the backstory.
We
There's
can
so much
let's
there.
revive Dana. We'll bring her back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll hold a seance or
We'll give her a whole character arc. We got it.
something. Yeah.
Yes. So on Entertainment Roadmap, we like to do a hot seat round. So are you ready to sit in the hot seat?
Ready.
All
Okay.
right. So, first question. Do you prefer the book or the movie?
It depends on the genre.
Mm.
If it's horror, I I prefer the movie. Mystery, I prefer books.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What are three things you would take with you to a deserted island?
Well, I would take my husband because also not just because he's my husband, but because he can cook. He's a chef, so he'll find something we'll be able to eat. It'll be great. And then a lifetime supply of water and a lifetime supply of popcorn because it's my favorite snack in the whole world.
Amazing. I would also take popcorn, I think. But I would take
So
like
good.
smart food popcorn, like the cheddar.
Mm.
That's my favorite.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. I'm craving that now. You just mentioned
Sorry.
it.
What is the last TV show that you binge watched?
Okay, I'm currently binging this show. It's called Frogging on Hulu. It's insane. It's about people who live in your home unbeknownst to you,
Uh-uh.
or like in your attic where you're
Shut it down.
crawling.
Shut it down.
I was like, this is crazy. And I'm watching it late at night. I'm scaring myself. And I'm like, well, now I need to go buy more security.
Is this like
I need to
reality or
invest in
fiction?
reality.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
No.
it's like all the people who survived having froggers in their home. They're telling these stories and it's like reenactments. I'm like, oh
That's horrifying.
yeah.
Oh my God. New fear
Yeah.
unlocked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow. That's not something that I ever thought to be worried about, but like,
Mm.
oh my gosh.
No, it's
Just like the fact
terrifying.
that you could be at home and not know that somebody else is in there. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mm.
Yeah, it always starts with people like things missing in their homes, but like they'll blame the other people living there naturally, or they'll think it's a ghost. And then things start getting worse and worse and worse, or people like plan to do horrible things to them. And it's just like, ooh, check your crawl spaces, check your attics, check your basements.
Oh my
Ooh.
God.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Okay, dream actor or director that you want to work with one day.
Okay, well, for sure, Jordan Peele
Mm.
and Lupita Nyong'o,
Yes.
1 million billion percent. And then also Yorgos Lanthimos because I love Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness, and he's kind of doing the odd film making, and I it's getting pretty good response. And so I think his films like making the mainstream is like, okay, there's room for more art house films,
Hmm.
um, to and obscure films to make it mainstream as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You would
I
be
haven't, yeah.
fantastic in Jordan Peele. Like, fantastic.
Well,
Yes.
Jordan, if you're watching,
We'll
Yes.
send it to him. Don't worry.
yeah,
We got it.
Yeah, we'll tag him on Instagram and
yes,
yeah, oh my
yeah.
God, that would be so good. Isn't he's making a new film now, isn't he? I okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's doing, I think, a new show for AMC. Like, I think they just announced that on Deadline.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
I'm
It's
like,
gonna happen.
I'm like, what did you? What's that?
I'll plug it on Letterboxd, and then all of your fans will be like,
Yes.
yes, we'll get her in there.
Yes.
So to wrap it up, is there any like are you able to talk about any of your upcoming projects or what you're working on next?
Yeah, there's this film called Bigfoot, Je t'aime. We filmed it in France last year, and it's basically like a stoner comedy about finding Bigfoot in the French forests. And it's really funny and silly. Um, and I think that film might end up doing the festival circuit at some point. And a commercial that has yet to come out yet.
Ooh,
Mm.
we'll have to keep our
Yeah.
eyes peeled for that.
Yeah.
Well, I am a lifelong fan, so like I will be watching Bigfoot. I will watch it for
It's
you.
very silly, but it's fun. It's really, really fun.
I mean, who
I
doesn't
think
love a
that.
good silly movie?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think those are a great time
We need more comedies in the world right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. We love talking to you.
Thank you. I like talking to y'all too. This was really fun.
Yes, this was so fun. All right. Bye.